So, Diogo, I'm really looking forward to chatting to you because, for a number of reasons, actually, you reached out to me on the Art of Coaching Instagram and you have a really, really interesting story. But to also give a little bit of background, you live in Rio, in
Yeah.
Brazil. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I sent you a message and I was like, oh, I spent some time living in Rio too in
Yeah.
2023. And then, as it turns out, it's such a small world that
Yeah, it's crazy.
the professor who gave my partner his luta libre black belt, you used to train with him too.
Yeah. That's such a nice friend, It's amazing. He's doing an awesome job here. He's incredible.
Yeah, so
Absolutely
it was
incredible.
crazy that we know the same people, but we've never crossed paths. But I guess if you
Yeah,
could,
and we are so far away from each other, And it's crazy.
I know, but still so close. So I
Yeah.
really want to speak to you because of the work that you're doing in Rio itself. And also, I think it's really nice for people who have never been to Brazil or really understand the culture, the people, and the communities that are built specifically within Rio itself to understand that
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is so much more than just training on the mats. So, to start, could you share a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah. I'll share a little bit about myself. First of all, I am Diogo. I have 38 years now. I have a son. I am black belt degree in luta livre and a brown belt in jiu-jitsu too. And I doing this for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. And to start talking about our mission, talk about BST and everything, I have to talk about a little bit about my history, my personal
Please,
history here in Brazil. Uh,
please.
uh, my father was a cop in Rio,
Wow.
and he got killed when I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my mother raised me the entire life in favela. I live in a favela in the downtown of Rio. And was very difficult times because she got very sick. She got a huge depression because
Mm.
she was with my father at the time that he got killed. So it was very difficult.
Mm.
And was so depressed and she got a lot of issues, health issues. And in some time of our lives was very difficult.
Yeah.
And I started work since I was 12 years old to put food on the table because it was very difficult in that time. And everything was rough, but I think this is one thing that make us people that live in here, especially in favelas, so tough, so happy, so fun. Because we struggle the entire life, but in the end of the day, we are smiling, we are having some good times, talking with good people like you. No, and for me, this is the life. When I
Yeah.
make 18 years old, I discovered the BST, the process that I training today. And I couldn't afford pay some membership. So I was starting to look to the place to training for put my mind in the right path. It was very difficult. And I found BST. And my master was teaching there for free. And I was, oh man, this is for free. This I could do. This is incredible. And this don't need nothing, don't need uniform, don't need nothing because it was luta libre in the time. And we training without give, just with some hash guard and shorts. And I started training with 18 years old and was just adults in that time.
Yeah.
was just adults. And I was thinking with myself, I was a blue belt for the same school that was Renato Budokan, And then I was thinking with myself, oh, maybe I should do something for the kids here to the kids have a bright path. They
Mm.
have something good to choose for they don't pick guns or even the families maybe could be a better future that my family don't have now. So maybe I'll do something for that. And I start teaching kids there. And I was blue belt in that time, and I start teaching kids. I started with 5 kids that time, was 2010 or 9, I think. And right now we have almost 112 kids in the program, splitting 3 class, kids, juveniles, and adults. We won 4 nationals from Luta Livre right now. And for the third year, we are the best Luta Livre team of Brazil. So this is incredible to see. And but right now, I am thinking, Ellie, in something bigger than that, because I use the martial arts, I use Jiu-Jitsu no Gi, Luta Livre, to change those kids' lives.
Yeah.
But maybe I wish I could do more, So I start to teach English there. I start to teach drama. I start to teach arts there with some friends of mine because the what we want to achieve is give those kids a better life,
Yeah.
So we are planning, and I think we are in a good way now. No, we have some difficulties because everything that we do is for free. The kids don't pay nothing, even the adults, even the uniforms, inscriptions of the tournaments, everything is for free. So I send the message to friends. Oh, can you donate for this tournament? Can you donate to the uniforms? And I have some good friends that help us a lot, So this is my passion. This is our mission. I think maybe we have right now. I have a good news to tell you. We have 2 kids that are going to fight the European tournament right now next
Oh,
week.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And the kids was just with donations to raise money to fly, to food, to description. And we have last week one of our kids fighting the pants in the US, and the
Amazing.
kid won. His name
Oh
is
my
David
goodness.
Carvalho. Yeah, he competed and he won. He got gold medal. So it's amazing. I love
Oh,
what we do.
congratulations.
Sorry to talk too fast because I get so
No,
emotional. My my passion right now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have goosebumps everywhere, and like it's actually hard for me to not get emotional with it. I think because I've been to Brazil and my first day and when I arrived, um, I don't think anything can.
Yeah, this is my cat.
So cute. I
Yeah.
don't think anything can prepare you for it if you're not used to that environment. And when I was there, I would always say that Rio is the most beautifully chaotic place I have ever been. It's
What we
just
are.
chaotic, but I love it so much. And I remember my first day, my Portuguese is still not very good. It's okay. I understand much better than I speak. But our first day, I went to sit at a little bar, as you do, and an 11-year-old, I would assume 11-year-old boy came to our table and he was selling Mentos. And you know exactly where this is going. And
Yeah.
my partner, Rafael, who is obviously he's Brazilian, and our friends at the time, they just like they dealt with it. They were dealing with it as they do. And I was confused because I was like, what's going on? Like, and why are we not actually buying from this kid? Like, if this kid is coming to me and saying, buy my things, and you guys are saying no. So what's going on here? And I got quite like emotional in the very first day because I didn't understand to the complete extent the level of poverty that actually occurs in Brazil and in Rio in particular,
Yeah.
and what kids have to do to survive.
Yeah.
And
I was
so
one.
you were one of those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel, that was that. I think he is in Spain right now. He's taking the flight to the European, and he also still sells Mentos in the streets, to compete, And right now he's competing in the European tournament. So this is crazy.
It
No?
is crazy. And I just don't even think maybe it's something that's on people's radar to understand. So for someone who has never even, maybe they train Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, they're a coach in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, or, Luta Livre is obviously a little bit more
Exactly.
specialized for Rio in
Yeah.
particular. But what is a favela? When we talk about
The
favela,
favela,
what is that?
the favela is the place of most of poverty people live. It's a place that has a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, but still has a lot of happiness inside. The kids are so bright, so happiness. And I live in the favela all my life. And for me, everything that I think is to get this place better, get the people better, brighter, and maybe smarter than was before. Because we can see so much happiness inside, but in the same time, so much violence. In the place that I live right now, we still have some gunshots that is crazy. If you are passing the streets, you can take some shots, and this so sad to see that the police came here in the time that the kids are going to school, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So this is so complicated. I could
Yeah.
talk about that for hours and hours,
Yeah.
but it's craziness. But
Yeah.
it's a place that has too much energy. It's chaotic, but still has too much passion, too much, uh, has a lot of happiness. So it's that,
I
this
think
the favela.
I think that that's something that I found so amazing. And part of the reason that I really love the Brazilian culture and the people is that you don't have so much stuff, but the pure happiness that I see of people, when we would go down to the beach, for example, and people would get off the bus with their esky, their big, like, all their stuff, and they were going for the whole day. And they had come from down from the favelas and they were going to spend their whole day at the beach, and there's music and there's laughing and they dance and they play football, and it wasn't anything that cost them a lot of money. It was
Mhm.
just happiness in a
The joy-
place where it could be very easy to not be happy.
Yeah, it's the joy of being alive,
Yeah.
of be, And I was thinking about this, and yesterday I was in my class of kids, the kids program with 14 kids, 14 alone by myself, and I was so happy, and the kids were so happy, so too much happiness there,
Yeah.
and you can see that for 1 hour they have a lot of happiness in their life. No, they are uh, training, and achieving some good things, learning. And there was, I was thinking today, man, was, yes, there was so fun to teach, And it's that, it's that because they have a lot of problems in their life, but when they are on the match, is everything done. They don't think about the bad things, just to be part of something bigger,
Yeah.
And that.
I think it's really special that you're able to share this message because when I was there, that not that many people actually spoke English. It's not that common to find people who speak English. So to then have somebody, yeah, I think I spoke English to like three people the whole time I lived there. And maybe
think,
one of them was my partner. So for you
I
to
think,
have
you know,
you have great English, and
uh,
so no, it's much better than my Portuguese.
the thing is, I used to teach some privates for some people around the world. So this
Mm.
way, I start to training myself in English, speaking, spoken, and this way I get a little bit better. But I have such a bad English, but I try. I think more
No,
important is try.
yeah, no, your English is very good compared to I. But the thing that I loved is that when I got to Brazil, that people would try and talk English with me, even if they didn't know any English. They would be like, "Oh, hello," and I would be like, "Oh, você fala inglês?" And they'd be like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind."
Yeah.
But then for you to then teach that and take not just the jiu-jitsu and the luta livre part of teaching, but now to be taking English and art and drama into your space,
Yeah.
I just I admire this so much. So how does that look in your how do your classes run? How does your whole for those of you who don't know, this is
Let
called a social project. So
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
How we call projeto social. It's like NGO.
yeah.
And the program runs this way. The class is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I teach. So I start the kids class 6 p.m. And after the class, they go to the English. And so to the Luta Livre came the teams. And after
Mhm.
the Luta Livre, they go to arts. So until 10 p.m., they are doing the program because I don't want they in the favelas, they in the streets. It's better
Yeah.
they are in some place that they are doing good things because in the streets of the favela are just drugs and bad things and you know for even 5 hours per day they are doing some good things.
Yeah, so they're actually then in a space that is safe for them to be kids, I guess. Like to
Yeah,
yeah.
this is the more important thing, and I could tell you, especially the way that we teach Jiu-Jitsu and Luta Livre in Brazil for the kids, for years and years, they are teaching like they was mini adults. This is crazy to see. They are kids. No,
Yeah.
they are kids. They are different. I think this is what make our program a success because
Mm.
we understand that they are just kids. They have some they are there for have some fun, for laugh, for make jokes, for play, and training jiu-jitsu and livre. But the more important is be a kid.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit because obviously with the art of coaching and my Instagram, it is a little bit different because everything I advocate for is for play. So, but this is very, very different from most places in Rio and the way that they teach kids. I know even when I would go to visit and the classes before the
Yeah,
adults classes
yeah,
were
I
like nothing wrong, just different from what I had experienced. and I learned all of the bad words in Portuguese first, and I would hear them a lot in the kids' classes. And I was like, oh, we can use bad words with kids in classes. Okay. It was just different. And it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
And I completely understand this. So what are you doing differently?
So I see some bad words, see some military things in the match, especially with the kids. I hate that because
Yeah.
I study pedagogy to understand the kids. And when I see something like that, I bite myself because it's everything against what I think, you know. And our program is this way. Right now, for I think starting 2023, that I know I start to search about Greg Saunders and the echo thing, you know, and everything. So our program is this way. Is almost everything about echo, you
Yeah.
know, with some flipped classroom or reverse classroom. So we have some programs in the weeks, maybe 2 weeks. We are doing something very specific, or even this week will be control of chest to chest or chest to back. You know, so we are uh, passing the days with that program until change everything. You know, but almost the entire class we have some games, and even after the class we have some games that I introduced to kids, big kids, you know, just so they don't just think that they are fighting all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And I make this as a program since 2021, I think 4 years now. I still learn, it's a process, but I think the class are, you know, very good right now.
That's fantastic. And like, let's just also talk about the fact that you just said that you had one of your students who is learning from you in the favelas, in your social project, through the ecological
That one,
approaches and CLA, who just won PANS in America.
his name is
Like,
David Carvalho. Yeah, he trained jiu-jitsu in the UPP Projeto Social também. It's like a police project like myself, but it's a different one that it's just jiu-jitsu, and I make the luta libre part, the nogi part, you know.
yeah,
And he is amazing. He won the last European tournament.
yeah,
He won last week the pants. His name is David Carvalho. He's amazing. He's such an
yeah,
amazing kid. He has 10 gold and he's incredible. And we have some kids of success too. You know, I think we have more than 10 kids that are doing very good, you know, right now. Just with the
yeah,
echoes in the Luta Libre, but they train in Jiu-Jitsu in other places too, you know.
yeah, yeah. I think that for the thing that I've found really interesting about when I came to train was, first of all, my name, funnily, my name Ellie, when it's
Uh-huh.
translated to Portuguese, kind of means he. So it'd be like Ellie is like he. So
Yes.
unfortunate. I would go to training and they'd be like, Diogo, como vai ele? Or what is it? Como vai ele?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people would just kind of look and be like, he, who? And I'd be like, me. And
It's
they'd be
me.
like,
It's me.
yeah, they'd be like, your name is he? And I'm like, yeah, it's unfortunate that the translation kind of didn't work out in my favor for this. But the kids that I trained with, oh my goodness, the level of the skill and
Yeah.
the only way to describe it is porrada. Like the only way to describe it is just like this innate ability to fight. was
Yeah,
honestly terrifying for me.
yeah. This is the thing that I think happening most in here. A lot of places they just training for everyday porrada,
Every day.
just to
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and this way we make a lot of good kids. But the problem for me myself is the kids that are not in that environment, or maybe with that what that uh, how can I explain to you?
Like
We
in like that,
lost a,
like the
yeah, we
mindset.
lost a lot. Yeah, that mindset
Yeah.
of porrada, we
Yeah.
lost those kids.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't think that it's more important has a competition team very strong. I think for me, it's more
Mm,
important to have a bigger group with a lot of different body size and age. I think this for me is more important than have 10 kids that just compete all the time,
yeah.
But it's the way that is in here.
Yeah, that's so interesting because I didn't get to experience that side of things when I was there. And I have a lot of respect for my professors when I was training there. I think that they were incredible. Like Renato and Formiga are incredible people. Um,
They are amazing.
they're incredible. And they were so welcoming to me the entire time that I trained with them. So shout out to them if they ever can see English
Yeah,
and
yeah.
understand what I'm
That is
saying.
awesome friend. Every competition we are together, we talk a bit. Renato is amazing. He's a
Yeah.
good guy. He's father
But
right now. I think he
yeah,
had a girl. Yeah,
he
it's
did.
amazing.
But his wife speaks English.
Oh, amazing.
So she was one of the few people that I could talk to when I was there, which was very nice for
Nice,
me. Um,
nice.
but it's interesting being able to then hear your different perspective on teaching kids because that's a little bit more aligned with what I would do and I'm sure with what many gyms outside of Brazil would do, but it's not the cultural normal experience in Rio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why I get so fun of your work, because I feel safe. I feel a connection, with your work and the other guys. I was thinking,
Yeah.
man, I think I have a place to think, because I think we have to look to the kids as a kid.
Yeah.
And even I have a huge competition team, but I have more than 13 kids that don't like to compete. Even
Yeah.
myself, I have a stroke 2 years ago. I cannot compete anymore. So have those kids that don't compete, for me, is such an important thing, because we can grow our team, like a tree, with a
The
strong,
root.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So
And
how
I
do
was,
go,
huh?
please.
No,
I was going to ask you, how would somebody, so something that I noticed when I was there was I realized that because English wasn't as accessible, a lot of the people that might be able to help influence some of the jiu-jitsu wasn't it wasn't accessible. So when I was training, there would be people who, for example, they didn't know who John Danaher was. They didn't
even
know
today,
who yeah, I mean, the only reason most of the people I trained with knew who Gordon Ryan was because he fought Felipe Pena. That's it. They
yeah,
didn't really know anything about anyone who we in our, Western world would consider like a big name in jiu-jitsu. These people don't know
yeah.
these things.
Yeah, this is crazy. I start to understand who was Greg Sounders in 2003, because I used to listen podcast, and I was the podcast was talking about him, and I was start
Yeah,
to search about him. Oh, sorry,
that's okay.
sorry. yeah, I start to search about him and understand. I think here we are the only eco genes that I know, and this is crazy for me because I start to study a lot of methodology to implement in my school to get my kids better.
Yeah.
And this was method that I saw that I think, oh, this is the way that kids have fun. They will love that. And when I start to realize that and start to implement, they love. They don't want to train techniques anymore. So
So
this is
cool.
crazy. This is crazy. How people don't know about, but it's the way
Yeah.
it is. I think the barrier of the language, the English, is complicated. I think this make everything difficult. No?
Yeah, I completely agree. I do think that that's a huge barrier to it. And I mean, I would be interested to know as well because, like Rafael, my partner, I have spoken about this in the past, is that when he started learning about CLA and the ecological approach, some of the language was a little bit of a barrier for him because he is perfectly fluent in English. Like he's been living in Australia for 7 or 8 years. But even then, he was coming across words that he was like, oh, don't really understand that word. So he did a lot of reading, a lot of watching to understand what he was doing. And is this something that you have had to do as well?
Oh no, this is crazy because
Mm,
I don't have no one to talk about this here. I have
yeah,
some friends that teach with me in the product. We share some situations that, oh, maybe this student we can do this to improve this lack of situation that he has right now. So even for me, it's very complicated talk, and I
it's,
still learning. It's a process, I still adding some new games, new things in the curriculum. So it's very complicated, but it's such a fun thing to see. And for me, I can see I have some kids that are training with me before I put CLA, and I have some kids that start training with that when I put eco, and we can see the difference in fighting, in understand body movement, in everything because was just static. No, just oh, you do some 10 arm bars, 10 this way. But now when they press live, it's very different. And they
yeah,
love because they are fighting all the class. We have one and a half hour of class. They are fighting all the way. They start
yeah.
until the end. They love it.
It's so amazing to hear something like that coming from somewhere all over the other side of the world to know that this is something that's impacting your programs. Have you had anyone have you had any like disagreement or have you had anyone a little bit resistant to either learning
Adults,
this way? Adults.
adults. It's complicated because they want to training back movements, and this for me, man, this is crazy. But adults is very complex. The kids love. The kids
Yeah.
love. I mean, teens is amazing, and see the improvement is amazing. Uh, last training session yesterday. I make a game. We are doing some chest and chest back, and I was doing some connections to trap the arm, and I was thinking, oh, maybe we should waiting for the movement of your opponent to trap. And doing the movement, they understand what we are doing, and they
Mm,
start doing some figuras and Americanas without I teach them. And I was saying, oh man, this game was a 10, but in the beginning was so stressful because it's such a complicated thing alone. But it's the way it is,
yeah.
amazing.
It's funny that you said adults because it's the same here too. Like we now I have a fantastic group of adults who absolutely love the way that we train, and they're on board, they understand, they can see the results. But we had a lot of resistance from people who felt like they needed the details, and I
Yeah.
can imagine that's why I asked, because it is so different from the traditional way of learning that yeah, I did expect to hear adults probably would be a bit more resistant.
But right now they understand because
Yeah.
I teach the kids, the teens, and sometimes I have other professors teaching the adults. And they are teaching, I let them teach the way that they want, you know. I'm not, you know, if you want to teach this way, it's cool for me. And they starting to choose my class. The right now I am picking them for the dark side of the force, no? They are choosing my path, no?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so this is your full-time job, or how do you, because this is a social project, you're not being paid for this.
I am school professor.
You're sorry?
I am school professor. I teach
Ah,
kids. Yeah. I teach
lovely.
kids. Yeah. I teach kids from 8 till 10 right now.
Yeah.
And it's that, you know.
Yeah. Inside the favela as well, in the public school?
You know, I teach in a very, very rich school, you know, in the Rio.
Private. Yeah.
Yeah. I have just maybe one parent or even two in the side of the mat, and this is so complicated because I want to see the parents. I want to talk with them. I want to understand what the kids are passing by, you know. And here we have this situation because the families has to work. Even the parents work all day, every day. They don't have
Mm.
time to see the kids growing. You know, this is such a complicated thing, you know. And yesterday I was seeing your video and I was thinking about that, man, this is crazy how the world is huge and every place has a different problem, you know. This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like if anything, you would like to be able to have the parents involved more with your program and understanding the kids. Yeah.
And one time a year, I make a training session with the parents. We call the family training, and the kids have to bring some parts, or even a grandma, a granddad, someone of the family. And some kids they don't have no one to bring, and this
Yeah.
is such a bad thing, you know. And sometimes I ask some friends to come over to this training session to make the kids company because they are so sad, so shy with that, you know, that lack of uh, partnership, you know. This is
Yeah.
such a you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it is the reality of like you spoke about losing your father at such a young age too. And the reality is
Yeah.
that many of the kids that are living in your areas and a lot of the other favelas too, they don't have anyone.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the families are raised by a single mother,
Yeah.
and the mother had to work, you know, put some food on the table. My mother
Yeah.
was sick. My mother with depression, she got schizophrenia. So
Yeah.
so she don't understand nothing about no. So I have to work to put rice to eat. Some months I just eat rice with eggs, no, because it
Mm.
was too difficult. This time passed. Right now, it's everything amazing, you know,
Yeah. But you were then able to be part of a social project that changed your life
because
too.
yeah, because it was for free.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that make me teaching for free those kids,
Yeah.
because to give them the opportunity that I have, you know, to change my life.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't understand who could I be if it was not Luta Livre, if it was not the BFT. The name of the team is BST, Boa Safra team. Boa Safra means good harvest, and what we want is a good harvest of kids, of adults. It's that.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
had the no, I love it. I think it's such an important conversation to be able to share with people. And when I was in Rio, I had the chance to go to a train at I don't know if it was a social project. I think it was. It was inside the favela near where we lived. It was right at the bottom, though. It wasn't sort of high up. My partner wouldn't let me go up inside, obviously for safety reasons for myself. But the the experience in that was I think it was life changing. Seriously, the experience that I got to have. So I went into, and I'm going to butcher the language, but I went to Morro do Macaco.
Sim, yeah, yeah. Morro do
Yeah.
Macaco.
So, yeah.
It's like Morro dos Macacos.
Yeah. So I was able to go and train in there with the professor who was actually one of my partner's professors as well growing up. So he used to, the stories he would tell me. Oh my goodness. But things like it would be 10 o'clock at night. Now, my partner was, he didn't grow up in the favelas. He grew up in a middle class neighborhood, but he would go there to train. So he would get on his bike and ride through the streets in the middle of the night to training, and he would finish training at like midnight, and he would come home and have his dinner, and that was his training and his life. And this particular person was his mentor throughout his training in luta livre. And what really got him into luta livre as well, and I was really grateful to be able to go and meet him and go and train in this place and understand a little bit of the reality of my partner's life as well, because it is so different to my reality. Because if I was not at home when the lights came on the street, I was in trouble for being out at night. So the idea of Hafa riding his bike at 10 p.m. at night through the streets, it's just completely different, I suppose. But
Yeah,
this is the life. This is what you guys do.
yeah, and especially for Rafa, Tijuca is a very dangerous place. At
Yeah.
that time, it was very difficult for him,
Mm.
and he's incredible. And one thing that, sorry to interrupt you, but I
No.
have to tell you, one thing that I love about Rafa was that he he still has his own roots. He still puts luta livre in his bio, and this is so beautiful to see because
Yeah.
we see is people that graduate in Jiu-Jitsu, they put BJJ, but not everybody that training luta livre, they put luta livre. And
Yeah.
when I saw it, I was so happy with that, because this is important even for me. I feel a connection with him with that, And I
Yeah.
didn't know that you,
Oh, you didn't
yeah,
know. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And so when we opened our gym,
with him, and so he told me, oh, you talk with my wife about that, yeah. Oh man, yeah,
yeah. So when we opened our gym, we specifically wanted to take the word of luta livre, which is very hard outside of Brazil because people don't necessarily understand how it came to be or why it's just no-gi, like it's very becomes one of those things that's hard, but it comes from the roots and it comes from the tradition of where you have trained and why you do what you do with the passion that you do. And so we carry that because it's his world,
amazing.
that's where he came
Yeah,
from.
I love that. It's amazing. It's amazing,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I have some friends in France that they still put, they come to train with us in the favela. And last, I think it was July, I think, we have almost 13 French guys and girls training with us in the favela. They came over the favela walking. It was incredible. And they still have the same roots, the same passion about luta libre. I train in BJJ, training with the gi,
Yeah.
but what I love most is luta libre because my whole history. If it was not luta libre, I could not be who I am. Luta libre gave everything to me, you know.
Yeah. For someone who doesn't, for someone, we probably should have done this at the beginning, but that's okay. For somebody who doesn't know what luta livre is, can you explain what luta livre is?
Yeah. I don't know if the words in English will come,
That's
but
okay.
luta libre is a martial arts that grew in Rio. Luta libre is uh, came from the catch wrestling from UK, and most of the people that work in the navy, the darts, the people that work in the with the sea that came and bring to Brazil. Luta Livre is a different of Nogi because the rules set, and we train a lot of leg attacks, neck cranes, neck attacks, and we also train a lot of takedowns with the wrestling things. I don't know if I have the words in English to describe Luta Livre
It's
in
you're
a good
doing a
way
good job.
to tell, you know, but it's kind of that.
Yeah. Can so when I was trying to understand the difference myself between luta livre and jiu-jitsu, I just went on the internet and tried to understand whatever I could. And obviously there was a big rivalry back in the past between, jiu-jitsu and luta livre and all of this. And so then I tried to understand, so why wasn't jujitsu taught primarily, like in the favelas and things like this? And it was because of the cost, like a gi costs, or the kimono, it costs money. So it
Yeah.
wasn't accessible for a lot of the population at the time. Yeah, like you spoke about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is crazy because when I start to understand about martial arts, I start to look for one to train. I have a friend that training BJJ, and he teach BJJ right now for a couple of years, and he was asking me, "Oh, can you train with me?" And I make two classes with him, and I saw everybody with the gi, brand new, amazing, and I was thinking, man. I asked him, "Oh, how much is a gi like that?" Oh, it's like 500 reais. I mean, I love that, but I can't afford that, you know. So I don't come to the class anymore. And after I find Luta Libre, it was amazing because it was just some shorts and some shirts, and it's okay. Right now we have our own uniform, like a squad, shorts. But in the beginning that I started training, was just shorts and shirts, and it's okay, you know.
Mm.
And we have a lot of misunderstanding about Luta Libre too, because people think that it's just some martial arts for people that don't owe money, don't have money to buy a gi. But we have some bigger school that training luta livre too, you know, and they choose to train luta livre, and this for me is amazing, you know, like Rio fighters, other places that don't want to talk luta livre, but what they do is luta livre. They do leg attacks as we do. They do neck attacks, but they say that it's not gi for me. It's okay, but it's not, you know. Who
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah. And that's something that we've had to do too. Like we call it no gi. at our gym,
Yeah,
because if we
for
were
me,
to try and, yeah, if we were to try and sell it as luta livre, no one would come because no one would understand. But
yeah.
on the wall is the photos of his his professors and his journey. And when we it's so funny, even on our website we have that Hafa is a one of, I'm going to say, very maybe a handful of people in the whole of Australia that have a black belt in luta livre, because it's so uncommon. But we had a guy, yeah, we had a guy message us the other day in another city, and he wanted to learn luta livre, and he didn't know anywhere else to go, but he was too far away to come to learn from us. But that's
Uh-huh.
okay. But there are
Yeah.
people out there who have done a bit of research and they do know the difference.
Yeah, I think most because the history. We have
Yeah.
a beautiful history in Brazil, you know. I think most the people that I know that search for luta livre is because of history, because someone told something good about, and it's amazing to see. You know, I love that. You know,
Yeah.
I still sometimes I teach in a BJJ school, and I call nogi because nogi is what sells. No, it's not wrong call nogi, but we have our own roots, you know. But Nogi is amazing to call, you know, because
Yeah.
it's what we do right now. I think in the world is too big, too beautiful to see that everything do the same thing, the same movements like bolos and leg attacks that we do here. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. I think that, you know, it's amazing to see how grow, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I remember going to a luta livre competition in Tijuca. And yeah, when I was there in 2023, Hafa competed. And I remember the energy, oh wow, was something that I had never experienced in my life. Just the incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
But the thing that stood out to me the most was there was a young Down syndrome boy who was competing, and the inclusivity, so the way that they were just able to make people feel connected, it wouldn't happen like that here. It wouldn't be that he was competing. There was another boy with cerebral palsy, and he was competing. And they set it up. They knew who was going to win. It was all set up for them. And it was I think maybe the guy who was running the event, and he
Uh-huh.
competed against them, and he let them. And the cheering, the whole entire room was cheering for these boys. And I've never seen that before.
Yeah, the guy that run the federation here, his name is Bosco Lima. He has a beautiful story in luta livre. He fights a lot, you know, and he is doing an awesome job in CBLL, is the Federation of Luta Livre. It's
Yeah.
amazing to see how they right now they have the, like you said, they have some kids with autism fighting each other, and
Yeah.
it's so beautiful to see Down syndrome. It's everything. It's amazing to see, you know. But the work that the guy do is amazing. In this
Yeah.
federation, our team is for 3 years the best team of Brazil. We this year we won all the tournaments of the year. We have
Yeah.
right now one the next month. I still raising money to put the kids to compete because the kids don't pay nothing. But I think we'll find a way to put the kids to compete, you know, this way. It's
So
amazing.
people, yeah, it's incredible. And I would like to spread this as far as we possibly can to people, that and stress the message that no one is being paid, and everyone is doing this because of the passion and the love that they have for the kids and their communities and luta livre and jiu-jitsu. And these kids are, this is their chance to have a bit of a normal life for whatever they can normal looks like.
For me, one thing that I make to make all these crazy things to put the kids to compete is because they have everything in the favela, and sometimes the kids don't go out of the favela. So the only way that I could do is taking the kids to the competitions, so they see the world, see the restaurant, maybe some burger, some things like that, because they have everything. They don't go out of favela. One is because it's too high. The schools are very close of the favelas in the beginning of the favela. They have everything set there. So the tournament is still in Tijuca, it's still in Tijuca.
Yeah,
And I
right.
took out kids from the favela walking until Tijuca, showing our uniform in the streets because I want to every people here know what we do, know the kids, no? So we walk all the favela down and we're going walking to Tijuca to compete. And sometimes you come back with the trophy in the hands, You're taking some photos. It's amazing to see.
That's incredible. And I mean, for them to experience something, yeah, like you said, leaving the favela and to put into perspective a little bit for people who don't understand anything about like Tijuca or Rio itself. Tijuca is not even in the considered they call it the South Zone. It's not
Yeah,
even it's not even in the
yeah,
part where if you go on holidays, if you go to Rio and you go on holidays, you're probably never going to go to this area. This is still
yeah,
considered an area that's not the the holiday space. So these
yeah.
kids are not even they're coming out of the favela and they're seeing something that is just their normal for people it's just normal world, but it's
Yeah.
still not even the
Yeah.
rich area, which is crazy for them that that small amount of coming out of the favela can change their whole perception of the world.
Even for me, Ellie, I have a friend. His name is Tom Burden. He's a brother for me. He is North American. And he was living in Ipanema. And even for me, going there was awkward because I don't
Yeah.
don't feel safe there. This is crazy. I don't feel safe in that place. I don't feel that I belong there. No, it was so crazy to see. I don't until right now. I think this way. No, this is crazy. We have two Rios, two different places. No,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
You definitely do. And I think that yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back. I'm hoping to come back to Brazil next year in April. Um, because I
Let's know the kids. No, will be a huge, huge pleasure. I promise for
yeah,
you guys that will be safe. You guys coming with me.
and that's
It will be awesome.
something that I would love is to come and see what you do and be able to maybe have a little bit more access to those areas because they are the reality is for me that they're not that safe. I don't look Brazilian. I'm
Yeah.
tall and I remember walking the streets with Hafa's mum and Hafa's mum is much shorter than me and even I to be fair though for anyone who is watching this I felt safe in Rio. I think that when you hear about Brazil or you hear about Rio in particular, it's always, oh, it's not safe. It's not, you can't go there because you'll get robbed or you'll be, and these things do happen. It's the reality of life. It does happen. But when I lived there for 6 months, I of course, I was careful. I was not silly. I didn't wave my phone around in the air or do silly things, but I felt safe. Like I loved every moment of living there. And I would encourage anyone who can be able to come to visit, to do that and experience something that's just so special. Like, if I could live in Brazil, if I could live in Rio, I would live there tomorrow because it's just the culture, the people, everything that is the happiness, like we spoke about, for the smallest
Yeah,
thing.
we have a lot of problems.
Yeah,
I can count the problems, but we are happy.
yeah,
We are happy be part of the city, be part of our country, living. Even with all the problems that the favela are, we make bonds here, I know all the kids that I teach for long years, I know the parents, you know. Uh, this is the way that we live, but we want to bring better things for them, better opportunities, maybe
yeah,
with the luta libre, maybe with the education like English or Portuguese. But I dream with that, and I dream with luta libre as a tool of transformation for the youngs. I
yeah.
think of that.
I'm really looking forward to Hafa, my partner, being able to sit back and watch this because he watches all of these before they go on the internet. And his dream, like when I first met him, he would tell me like his dream is to be able to go back and have a social project. That was his dream. And it still is today. His dream is to be able to come back to Rio, to teach English, to give kids a
Yeah.
chance at a different life. And I think what you're doing is just the most incredible thing. I really, really do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You are such a inspiration for me, you and the Rafa, because what you guys do is the way that I think. So it's important to feel this connection, So thank you very much. Thank you very much for everything,
No, my
It's
pleasure.
amazing to.
Yeah. Is there anything that, we can do? Is there any way we can share what you're doing to be able to? I mean, I've got some kids' profiles that you've sent me that I will certainly be putting their Instagrams so people can see these kids and where they've come from and what they're
Yeah.
doing now. I think that's so important. But what about your project? Is there any way to connect with that?
Yeah, we have some situations right now. We have some competitions coming. We have a competition in November, and every 3 months we make some programs of raise funds to buy uniforms, put the kids in a competition because everything comes for free for them. So
Yeah.
this way of helping, if you guys can share with some friends the good talks about us, would be amazing to see.
Yeah, 100%. I will share this with everyone that I possibly can. And even now, Instagram has started a feature where it uses AI to translate my words into Portuguese. So now, yeah, it's crazy. And it looks like I'm talking in Portuguese, which is insane. But that itself, we can use some of the content to make content that people will then be able to understand in their own
Yeah,
language, which is so
what
cool.
it was when you post something, I was translate, I put in my notes and send to WhatsApp group of the kids, because it's important to see your message, what the way what I was doing was that, I put in notes and share with the WhatsApp group.
So now you won't even have to do that. Most of the time, my reels should translate into Portuguese, which I just think out of everything that comes from AI, that's probably the coolest thing that it's making people connected.
Yeah, yeah, around the
Yeah.
world, yeah.
Diogo, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm so glad that the world gets to hear your message and everything that you stand for and your life and your journey and understanding a little bit of what it's like living in Rio and being Brazilian. And I just thank you. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, my bad English. Still
You're
learn is a process. I was so happy to make part of that. I sleep early. I sleep 9. I sleep more than 11. I'm so hype because it was so fun to talk with you. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, Rafa, and God bless you guys' life. It's
Thank
amazing what
you.
you guys doing. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, Diogo. Have a beautiful night. Go and get some sleep.
It's work. Ciao. Bye.
Boa noite.
Oi, ciao.